Hi, I'm Magic Ben, and I have here with me my friend Liz.
Hi.
And Ken is on the camera. So, Liz, this trick is called 2 bits plus. And the reason Liz actually had the thought of, we're trying to think of a name for this trick, and Liz had the thought of a bit. And I'm like, what's a bit? And she's like, well, isn't it a quarter? And then Ken looked it up, and he was like, well, in the Spanish real, I guess, was a coin that they used to make change, like it's an eighth of a an eighth of a real they would make change by cutting up this coin. And so a quarter, which is 2/8, is a quarter, right, of a dollar, is why sometimes the quarter, I guess, most normal people don't call a quarter 2 bits, but it is, I guess, also a quarter. So Liz, you don't know what you're about to see. We haven't prearranged anything, and this is being filmed live in a single continuous shot.
All I know is the name of the trick.
Yes, and you helped me create the name of the trick. But I'm actually going to teach this trick, so it doesn't so much matter whether you've seen or not. But so I just have here a regular deck of cards, and Liz, I'm going to have you just shuffle those. All right, good. I'm going to cut. Okay. And then check out the coins here. Check out all the coins.
Should I pick them up?
Yep. Yeah, pick them up, turn over.
Oh, they are. They're decorated. Looks like a 8 of diamonds, a 5 of diamonds, 6 of spades, 4 of spades, and a 7 of spades.
Cool, right? So they're just coins with card faces on them. Okay. So go ahead and turn all those over again, and just give them a mix. More in the middle of the table.
Should I put them back?
Yeah, no, just however you like. Okay. All right, and take out. We'll remove 2 of them, like from play. Just completely remove. Yep. Okay. And so that leaves us with three coins left. And go ahead and remove one of them. So out of play, won't use it anymore. Okay, gone. All right. Now we have 2 left. You've removed 2 from play. You've removed 1 from play. I'm going to have you remove 1 more.
Okay.
Whichever one you'd like. Okay. So we're going to just remove that. It's gone. So we started with 4 coins. You shuffle the deck. You cut the deck. We had 4 coins, and let's see what we have left here. You shuffle them, randomly shuffle them. You removed 2 of the coins. You removed another coin. You removed another coin, and you're left with 1 coin left. So this leaves us with the 4 of spades.
I was going to say the 4 of spades, yeah.
Okay, so turn over that coin. Okay, the 4 of spades, and turn over the top card of the deck.
That's crazy.
Was that good?
That's crazy. That's good.
So, all right. Hi, thanks. I'm Magic Ben. So now, I'm all about performing magic, not necessarily teaching magic. But I'm going to teach this trick. So for those of you who just love magic, like I do, and just want to be entertained, so you can stop the video here, or you can stay on and I'll teach you how this trick does. Was this interesting? Was this good?
Yeah.
So fair, right? Like you shuffle the coins,
Yeah.
you shuffled the deck.
You didn't know
You
till
cut
the
the
end
deck.
what coin was going to be left.
Yeah,
You know,
and-
even if you had some way to control the cards, yeah.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to teach you this trick. Now, this is not a beginner level trick. It will require a little bit of practice, and it's also angle sensitive. So there are tricks that are angle sensitive. I'm doing this in this is what's called close-up magic. So basically, this is meant for a small audience, like 1 or 2 people. It's not meant for like being surrounded with 20 people, right? Okay. So because it's angle sensitive and there are moves you have to make, and so that you have to practice it. It's not a simple trick to do. So now I teach other simple tricks on my channel. You can just search for anything Magic Ben teaches, and I have simpler tricks you can do. So I thought I would do something, not just a card trick, but something with coins, and something a little bit more advanced, so those people who are watching on my channel can learn something more advanced. Okay, So I will also say there's multiple ways to do this trick. So once you're slowly on my channel, if you follow my channel, you'll learn more and more tools as I teach them. There's a couple tools here that I'll be teaching. But one neat thing about being a magician is it really is kind of like sort of like a puzzle. If you like thinking and solving puzzles, over time, as you learn more tools, you'll be able to put those tools together, and it's kind of like you're solving a puzzle, right? So if we work kind of backwards, and think about this as sort of as a puzzle. So the person is going to be able to pick whatever coin, right? One coin. All right, in this case, you pick the four of spades. And I have to get that card, whatever of that coin is, to the top of the deck, right? So that's the puzzle basically you're trying to solve, right? So you picked any coin, you shuffled them up, you picked any coin, and somehow that card was at the top of the deck. And that's the puzzle we're trying to solve. So now it turns out there's actually multiple ways to do that puzzle. And I'm going to show you, I think, one of the simpler ways to do it, but it's still not easy. It's still a difficult trick to do. Because actually, the truth is you could have picked any of these coins, and I would have ended the trick slightly differently depending on what you did, right? So suppose the 8 came up. Instead of flipping the top card, I would have had you flip the entire deck over, and that would have given the card.
That's only 2 options, though. It was just 5, yeah.
So suppose you said, suppose you picked the 5. We said, I would have said something like, you know what? Let's burn the top card of the deck. Because they do that in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
So you have the 5 instead.
But how did you get them in that order? Because I shuffled them. Yeah,
right. So that's the trick, right? Yeah. And now for the 7 and 6, it's a little bit harder because they're not at the top, they're not at the bottom. So for the 7, you're gonna have to do a pass, which is, there's lots of ways to do this, but essentially what you need to do is move this bottom card somewhere. It doesn't matter where. Like you can even sort of drop it on your lap if you want, but you have to somehow move that bottom card because the 7 is the next to the bottom card. Additionally, the 6, there's 2 cards down, so you're gonna have to get the 6 to the thing. Now. It just so happens you had probably the best possible outcome because you picked literally the card that was on the top of the deck, so I didn't have to do anything. So that appeared extra magical, which will happen one time in 5. And it was pretty magical, right? It felt pretty magical.
Totally.
Okay, so it was good. It was nice. I live for the reaction, seeing somebody like, wow, that was cool. So if you do magic, that's just something that's very rewarding to see, that sense of awe. Okay. So then the tricky thing is, of course, how do you control these 5 cards to the deck? And again, there's actually multiple ways to do that. I'll just say I can think of 3 ways to do that, but I'm going to just teach you the simplest way that I can think of. And even that isn't easy. Okay, so now magic is. Card magic and coin magic and magic in general isn't just about it's a whole ecosystem of things. It's presentation, it's being able to communicate an idea. You have to be able to explain what's happening. Like at any point, was anything unclear? Did you understand everything that was going on? And that's what makes it like you understood every step of the way, and at the end it was magical. So don't rush through it, just think through what you're trying to communicate, and try to communicate well with the trick. So also attention management is important. It's very important in this case too. So I had to see what you were looking at and when, because when the trick started, these were actually in my hand. Okay, so they were palmed in my hand. You shuffled the deck, you cut the deck. Now, when you return the deck to me, these were, now you can't quite see this, and this is where I mean by angle sensitive. So you can see so this is the cards palmed in my hand, and these are really literally just pieces of paper, right? So you can feel free to bend them as much as you want. And from certain angles, like from this angle, you can see the cards. From this angle, you can't really.
Yeah.
And from the sort of top angle, you can tell my hand is a little bent, right?
Yeah.
So, so it kind of depends. You have to be watching what they're watching. And again, this is why it's probably best with one or two people. It's a close-up magic thing. So after you've shuffled the deck, the extra difficulty is not only did I have to palm the cards, I had to put some of them on top and some of them on the bottom, and that's not easy to do. So what you have to do there is you have to kind of split the palm. So it's very easy. It's actually very easy to just palm one card. So basically, to palm a card, it's just like it sounds. You want it sort of in the center of your palm. This part of the the pinky is touching one end of the card, and the flesh of the thumb is touching another one. And you can put a bunch of cards there. 5 is about as much as you want, probably. Then it starts to get a little bit unwieldy at that point. So you notice that it's a lot, right? And depending on some people's hands are bigger or smaller than others. But the actual placement is really fast. You're just bloop, and that's it, right? If I were to just put 3, so if this were like a 3-card trick, it'd be a little easier. I made it a little harder. In fact, you might be able to just, instead of having 5, you just do 3, and the trick is a heck of a lot easier. But to do a sort of split palm, you want to just sort of palm normally, and then you offset a couple just a little bit, so that what I can do is I can very easily move the other off. So basically, as I'm going to pick up the deck, then this happens very quickly, by the way. So basically, as I'm going to pick up the deck, these two come down, so they're ready to be put on the bottom of the deck like this. I'll try to do this slower. So basically, the palm is like this. The person, you can't just do it right a millisecond after they've shuffled the deck. You then have them. I did this when you were looking at the coins.
Yeah,
okay, so you're looking at the coins very intently. I told you to flip them over. Now notice when you flip over coins, you have to watch what you're doing. Right? Your fingers have to. You have to see what you. And that's the point that I do that. So basically, and I'll try to do it very slowly. So basically, both hands are kind of working to pick up the deck. This hand is peeled off the bottom two, ready to sort of smack them on the bottom. I go to pick up the deck, and this all happens in probably about a second and a half, 2 seconds. So it's a very fast move, and that's the thing that takes the most practice with this thing. So once again, you basically you have it in a split palm like this, and immediately I take this all in one fluid motion. I'm taking up the deck just like I'm sort of. Like I'm gathering the cards, but I need both hands to pick them up. And then I have the 3 that I need on the top, the 2 that I need on the bottom, and the deck is set. And you just want to kind of do that in a motion that looks like you're just kind of putting the cards to the side of the thing. Okay, so now the second part is, how did I know what card it's going to be? Now it's you have to know what card it is before the coin gets turned over. Okay, so if you just did this and at the end, you could do it this way too, but I think it's not as magical if you do this. So basically, if I already know what the final result is, I can just do whatever it is. Say something and I get the 6 to the top. But it's kind of more interesting, I think, to prepare the deck so that it's already ready. To do that once I know what the thing is, right? So to do that is a little bit harder, and the way I did it was not all coins are created equal in this case. So if you carefully look at the coins, they're all faces. Okay, you see face, or sorry, face, tail. So one card is a tail, the other 4 are faces. Do you see that?
Yeah, sure.
So I know the tail is the 4. So if you choose, I can see without anything happening easily that this is going to be the 4. Okay? So if I end on the 4, I know I don't have to do anything. I know the 4 is already at the top.
Yeah.
Now, it might be, I don't know, you might be able to see it, might not be able to see it, but these 2 coins have little dots on them. Can you see that? I don't know if it'll come up on the camera.
Yeah.
But it's very subtle, but those 2 things have dots on them. Can you see that? So I know the 2 dots are the 5 and 6. Okay. So and I know if you didn't pick the dot and you didn't pick the tail, the two coins without dots on them are the 7 and 8. So basically, I know that there's 7 and 8. So now this is very hard to see, but if you picked one of the two dots, I would have to be able to tell which was a D and which was a P. So I don't know if the camera can pick this up, but basically every coin is minted either with whatever,
I think it's
Delaware,
Philadelphia or
D, Delaware, I don't
maybe
know.
Delaware.
Denver.
Denver,
it's Denver.
maybe Denver. Okay, but anyway, there's a really tiny little D and a really tiny little P on every coin face. Okay, and basically it matters. So the little map is here. The 4 is the tail. The 5 here. Just spin out here. So basically, the 4 is the tail. The 5 is a D with a dot on it. The 6 the 6 has the face with a dot on it, and it's from whatever, Philadelphia. The 7 is from Philadelphia, and 8 is from Denver. so that's maybe a little bit more advanced. But again, you don't have to do it with 5 coins, but it does seem a little bit more magical with more coins. Okay. So now that we know that how to be able to tell the coin, then it's really just up to the magician how you'd like to have them pick the coins. But make sure, again, this is super important to communicate very clearly. You're going to pick 2 coins. We're going to remove those 2 coins. Or you could say, pick 3 coins and we're going to use those 3 coins.
Yeah.
But however you do it, just make sure it's super clear. I'm going to have, so otherwise it feels like you're being manipulated somehow.
Yeah.
Take 3 coins, any 3 coins you'd like. Go ahead and take 3 coins. Whatever 3 coins you'd like, and you're gonna use those 3 coins. We'll remove the other 2. So just be very clear about what they're doing. I know you've taken out the 4, because I can see you've taken out the 4, and I know you've taken out the 7 or 8 here. You've just took out the 8. So I know you have the 5, 6, 7 left. And again, we want to get down to 1 coin. So you can say like remove 2, whatever 2 you'd like. Okay, 2. Yep, you're removing those 2, and I can see there's a dot here and there's a dot here, and this is the dot of P. so this is the 5 left, right? Now for the 5, again, you can say we're just going to burn the top card. You shuffled it, you cut the deck, but let's burn the top off. That's what they do in Vegas, and that'll be the 5. So the we'll go over the endings. There's essentially sort of 5 different endings to this trick, right? So basically, I'll go over all the endings. If they have the 4, it's very simple. You just turn over the top card, right? If they have the 8, that's also very simple. You just turn over the bottom card. Just turn over the whole deck. If they have the 5, again, you just say that line, like in Vegas, they burn off the top card, and you've shuffled it, you cut it, we'll burn off the top card, and that'll be the 5. Now, there's a couple ways you could do the 6. If you want to say, in Vegas, what they do is they burn off the top card, and it's the 6. So,
But you took 2 cards.
I took 2 cards off. Yeah. So again, a little bit more advanced, but that's probably the cleanest way to do that. And there's lots of ways to kind of peel off 2 cards, but basically it just takes practice. So basically, to make it smooth, to look like it's 1 card, we'll I took 3 cards off. Happened to be the 6. Okay, so basically, we're taking 2 cards off. We'll burn 1 off, and that's the 6. And now the 7 is probably the hardest because it's in a weird spot in the bottom where you need to, it's harder to say peel off 3 cards, and well, you could do that if you wanted to. But here you probably just want to do a pass, you could fake shuffle it, you could sort of shuffle the 7 up to the top if you wanted to, and just count down. So now I've controlled the 7 to the top. There's a lot of ways you could do this. Now I probably mixed in the other cards. But basically, somehow you have to remove the bottom card and show the 7. So, you can shuffle, move, pass. but anyway, that's the basic way you're gonna show whatever card they picked, matching to whatever coin they picked.
And the truth is, even if you didn't show the card but said, like, I'm going to find your card, and then you pulled it out, like, it would still be pretty magical because you haven't seen which
Oh,
card
yeah, I haven't
is
seen
it.
the coin. Yeah, that's a good. That's another good thing too. So there's lots of
Mm-hmm.
variations to this trick. What I really taught you was a couple tools. I think that's the most important thing to take away from this lesson. So I palm 5 cards, but you can just as easily palm 1 card, right? So
Yeah.
the tool of basically they shuffle, they cut, and you put a card, whatever you want, to the top. That just takes experience of how to palm the card. I taught you a little bit of how to palm. To do it on an off, what they call an offbeat, to notice the attention of where the audience is. The attention management is important. What they're doing, what they're focusing on, and then the timing of when to do that. So that's that palming topic thing is I've done it many times and with many different variations, and it's always an interesting thing to do. The coins, the doing some like just a card trick, it's not as memorable as doing a coining card trick. I think that's more interesting and more memorable than just a card trick. And I think putting the card values on coins is interesting. So it's not exactly a tool, but it gets you thinking of variations of how to do a trick. I taught you the tool of basically being able to identify the value of something without seeing the value of a coin. That's used in lots of things in magic, but with coins it's maybe not as common. So that's kind of a tool that you can have different variations on, which I think is interesting. So that's it. I think hope you enjoyed this. Hope you learned something. Try it out. Practice. Try it out with your friends and family and see how it goes. Okay, so I'm Magic Ben. Check out some of my other videos, and thank you for watching.